Good afternoon, we're back after lunch for round 2 of Vengeance V4. We are in the 1-0 bracket with Florian Tam versus Bryce Johnson. New captain on stream, hopefully we'll see Vet Ball. The players clarifying. Bryce just clarifying legal terrain. Should be interesting. Should be a very violent matchup if it's Thresher versus Vet Ball. Ready to post.
Have you got your table? Surname, Bailey. Good man. Richard Bailey. No. Cam Bailey. Yes. 46. He's playing Valerian Langton. Best name ever.
Keep posting dubs.
I will post. He is so loud.
Really is. So for you lovely people at home, don't have Bryce blaring out at most of the volume in your ear.
Bryce has decided that it would be interesting to see how loud he can turn his microphone pack. So at the moment, I'm just being deafened.
I think his Longshanks name is aggressively Scottish,
and he is living up to that.
Yes.
But also, it doesn't help that Florian isn't the loudest person in the world.
It's gonna be fun.
We just had to fill about the table because we had too many obstacles, so we replaced one with a barrier. No, other way around.
Yeah.
Replace the barrier with an obstacle.
Yes. Are we alright on volume-wise, people at home?
Yeah. Are we loud and clear? Or can you hear Bryce from over there?
Yeah. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how much of a delay we got. I think it was about 30 seconds as well, they said. So we will see. Right, so we've got what?
So it's
Butchers versus Farmers.
I'm hoping for a
Vet
Ball Thresher.
Yeah.
The round has now begun. Good luck everyone, have some fun.
Bryce wins the decision to kick receive.
Bryce rolling hot already.
Bryce chooses to kick, which means probably Thresher, I'd imagine. They are swapping sides. Have you already gone through your dairy milk?
No, my dairy milk's in my bag.
Okay, I thought you already sugared up.
No. And I'm only sugared up with 2 teas.
Oh my.
No Red Bull just yet.
I'm on 2 Dr. Peppers, so...
Buzzing.
Packed.
Moving towards round because kicking likes fast ground. And also just getting it away from it. And I'll be honest, out of the 2 players, I don't really have anything nice to say about Bryce.
No. Yeah. We're not being just intentionally aggressive, we're getting aggression in our ears.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I might be.
Yeah, okay, John might be. Change the names. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they have sort of.
Changing names are coming on.
So there's only one mascot from Florian, which is
Princess.
Doggy.
I think Truffles for Butchers becomes much more relevant once Cinnamon's released. Because it's a large ratio to ping the aura off of.
Yeah.
I also like the pig.
Well, I was a little bit.
You broke it.
I looked at it, I was like, big envelope.
Oh, bringing in clocks that he's broken because he doesn't want to play properly.
I think Florian's captain choices are V-Ball or Fillet. On the receiver, I have to imagine it's Vet Ball, right?
I hope
That's Vet Ball.
that's Vet Ball.
It's Vet Ball, Thresher. Things
Thresher
are going to die.
Yeah.
Left, right, and centre.
Oh, this is going to be spicy.
Yeah. It's a tenderizer and a shank, I think.
I think Shank is near enough an auto on this one.
Yeah. Not sure what the first drop from Bryce was.
Nice and reflective cards.
Yeah. That's a Millstone's the second drop.
Boiler as the pickup for the butchers. Now, as a butcher, what would you next be dropping?
I like Meat Hook. Helps you get through Meat Hook. You get through the farmer's large amounts of health pools, and the shank missile, shank trebuchet, whatever people are calling it nowadays, is real and will kill models.
Do you not like the idea of
Tater?
gutter?
Not really. Oh, and it's O Brisket.
Oh, brisket. Interesting. Okay.
O Brisket has the nice thing where if she scores,
The whole team is
the whole
stacked.
team gets sacked apart from the mascot.
Yeah, I like that. I was thinking gutter into it just for the sweeping strike into.
Oh no, that's not tenderizer. Is that tenderizer or Betox? I can't tell. It's tenderizer, right? Yeah, it's tenderizer.
Can't see from here.
It is tenderizer and it is shank. First drop from Bryce was Plowman. Interesting tenderizer on the receive.
Yeah.
Is that because farmers have low def and you can ground pound? Berserk ground pound seems fun.
Berserk ground pound. And when we were talking about playing tenderizer and just literally running him up the field because of having berserk.
And Jackstraw's the last one. So that's Tater and Thresher's the Reapers, and then Millstone, Plowman, Jackstraw, the Planters, and Peck, technically it's a Planter.
On the receive as a butcher, I can only assume you're going to try and set up the first own goal because having the team completely stacked is always going to be something you're going to want.
Get Vet Boar into a position where he threatens someone.
What do you think to the Jackstraw play being able to potentially sit on Boar?
Yeah, I think he buys your turn. I think if you need to feed a model to Boar, Jackstraw's not a bad one.
No, yeah.
The spot prize for this round is for the first person to score a tap-in screamer.
That's not ours. Do you want me to put it down here? As a farmer's player then, what are you looking to do with your kickoff? You're looking to isolate and pull out a model?
People tend to play farmers kickoffs a lot more defensive than I do.
Yeah.
So my farmers kickoff is very heavily reliant on veteran honor, which I think a lot of people are dropping.
Well, I spoke to Bryce. I spoke to.
Veteran honor.
I spoke to Bryce about his vet honor and what he thought of it, and his only reasoning for not bringing it is because it's not painted.
Because I love kicking off with Thresher.
Yep.
5 stacking your Thresher, and then your first activation as farmer is literally vet on a Tater 6 inches forward, who's fully stacked, plant a harvest box, and you've got counter charge up. And that's the middle of the pitch, and you've got 9 influence worth of
fruity goodness ready to go.
Yeah.
Champion interesting because I don't think I've watched Bryce play much since he was playing on that.
I think I might have seen him on one of the WTC streams or something. Bryce looks like he's going to kick off with Thrasher, which is the standard.
The standard, and it looks like he's got a nice piece of cover to be able to sit in as well.
Yep.
Trying to think, where is
Where is what?
Thresher's got a bit of a.
Thresher received a buff in the last errata.
Yeah, so I was just going to load up the card to familiarise myself.
Where the fuck my folder of cards going?
Oh, it's alright, it's somewhere. It's underneath the laptop.
Ah, yes. That's fine.
So yeah, with him being the harvest marker and being poised, I think he has got a nice counter attack, forcing the ball player to take the knockdown of the first.
Oh yeah. Especially when you're running Millstone as well.
Yep.
So the KD doesn't happen.
It doesn't do anything yet. I always like a Butcher's player having Boiler as well, because that axe throw, just being able to threaten a throw.
It's still 6 damage, even
Yeah,
without
exactly.
the owner. It's quite a one-sided kickoff. So, is this where Fletcher just places it 8 inches across the line towards the top of the screen?
I mean, I would. Interesting placement, as you said. I think the toe punt even further would have.
Yeah. Although... maybe he thinks he needs the ball in play. Maybe he thinks he needs the ball in play, and he can't
Maybe.
outfight or
Yeah, go nuts.
the handshake, and on to Florian.
And we're off. Shank starting the activation. It's an interesting thought as well, because you always want to try and hold Shank's activation, because you want to use him because he can always get everywhere. Kicking the ball up that way past Shank, forcing him to be the person that goes and gets the ball.
Well, I think Florian's turn 1's fairly set in fact he just wants to score with Brisket, so I don't think you need to hold Shanks. Successfully passes to
Florian being
Tenderizer.
forever the gentleman reminding Bryce about his own game.
I'm sure Bryce has been playtesting season 6 where you don't have momentum. And
So Cockjaw gets put up on Thresher. You can see him getting the stack. Very defensive move back again.
yep. Getting the goal going down on track. Nudging in with battering ram.
Harvest marker going down.
casted successfully to boiler. Banks momentum. Just double checking he's outside of
The threat range.
of Florian. And there's no Harrow on the side of Bryce to increase that.
Yep. Like this is being very, very similar to the games we had last year.
Yeah,
with
where everyone just rotates.
Yeah, everyone rotates clockwise around the board.
Yep.
And again,
Everyone is
the
outside of Thresh's threat. I think Shank must be inside the 11 though, right?
Yeah, I
Looks
think
like.
Shank is, but I think Florian is happy him committing
Yeah.
over there because that is also tenderizer counter charges.
Tenorius doesn't have counter charge anymore. In the errata, he removes counter charge and he's got now Celebrate this, which is when someone scores a goal, they take 4. But all of his ranges are now at 6 inches.
Ah, I have kept up with the game. You can tell.
Amazing, incredible. You're obviously the hypecaster.
Yeah. Jack Shaw just making sure that some more harvest markers are scattered across the field.
Yeah. It's interesting that the Jack Shaw activation. No, sorry, kill me.
It's the last activation for him.
What?
It's the last activation for him, isn't it?
No, he's got Thresher left.
Oh yeah.
And there's an argument, I guess, for taking Thresher now, so you get Jack Shaw's influence against someone, but Jack Shaw's influence doesn't really do anything, so ignore me.
Well, no, Jack Shaw throwing the crop dusting on top of Brisket could have been a thing. Because, as you say, the Thresher activation being now or then isn't going to affect anything because Brisket's too far away.
Unless you want to kick out the ball to Thresher and have him score.
That is, that's possibly the only thing.
It doesn't look like Bryce wants to play an aggressive Thresher because the harvest markers from Jack are quite far this way.
Yeah.
So they're not really in range for him to rip them up for the 3 spin.
I mean, the other thing to look at is Florian has put the dog back. Effectively, is the pseudo goalie.
A -1 point.
To get the money.
Sprint, super shot, bonus time.
Yeah, sprint, super shot, bonus time.
Needing 5s. Nailed it, just. Although the 5 wouldn't have, it's only just on 4s as well.
It would have been on 5s, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But even if it was just on 4s, it was still going to be just. And now the vet ball team can put all of the influence everywhere.
Yeah.
3-2, looks like.
So Thresher isn't within an inch. So you'll have to make a cheeky little.
Shank is easily within 11. Thresher can back up and grab that ball if he wants. Gliding for 3 from Plowman. I'm sure the blood is coming, Geeks Workshop.
What?
The blood is coming. Take a look at the chat.
Yeah.
Takes the 3-inch melee and charge Shank, not picking up the ball. Shank Death,
Death
Stance,
Stance from Shank.
reducing Florian to 1-1, I think.
And I believe the score hasn't updated because we didn't click update.
My bad.
We're good at this.
I was too engrossed watching the game.
Yeah. So that's the knockdown there on Shank.
Just bomb 2. Last one. And 2 again. And pulls up the Harvest Marker to do another 3.
So Bryce is currently sitting on +4, and Florian now has to choose what he does with the influence. And by choose what he does with influence, I mean stack everybody.
Yeah. So that is generates 13 as a team, plus 2 from the vet versus goal. 4 takes 2, Shank takes 4, 6, 4, 10, yeah. Can't quite stack everyone on this team because they're all 4 caps.
Yeah. But I mean, in this situation where you've got everyone,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a necessity. Bryce looks like he's locked in, just waiting on Florian to choose his card.
Yeah. I can imagine that Bryce wants to go first, kill Shank, and then retreat outside of
Yeah.
that ball. So,
Where Boiler and Brisket are, do you think then?
so Bryce has go for these, which gives takes a +1 attack,
Yeah.
and he pulls up 3, and Florian's got +1 move for his entire squad. The green dots represent the +1 movement. Is what we're hearing.
It's a good way to remember.
Yeah,
So many times I've forgotten plot cards after you play.
100%. Which now means the ball is in range of thrashing out, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Nearly definitely with that.
Because he's measuring outside of 11 on anyone, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine Thrush is going to stay there, so.
Yeah. Look at all the influence. Look at all the influence.
So much. I was about to say, probably not 4 on board.
Now at this point, with him not putting any influence on him, do you kill him? Do you kill him? Do you kill Shank now?
Yeah. It still lets you have last activation as far as.
True.
Taking Mom 2, Mom 3.
Yeah. Ooh, and a sprint back.
Bryce remembering the +1 move and measuring outside of 10.
I mean, it looks like the sun has risen on the map.
Yep.
I will rectify this. I'll be right back.
Our expert technical team are going to go rectify the sun. It looks picturesque though, so that's nice. Florian deciding on his first activation. think ball out of range of everyone relevant. It feels like something else has to happen first. Probably boiler. Sorry. The sun has been fixed. We're fine. Well, it was just outside both the chicken and the scarecrow, I think. Yes, I mean, Mark Target is the only threat extension really available for Boar currently, unless the ball gets back involved. I guess Tenderizer could literally walk behind Boar and ground pound him forwards. I wouldn't advise it, but it is possible. Tenderizer could walk behind Vet Boar, ground pound, and push him forwards. For threat extension. But I think mostly we're just going to see Boiler throw out a load of Mark Targets.
Yeah.
First one misses, second one hits on Thresher. Now on Jackstraw, misses. Misses.
At that point, with that knowledge, would you have not maybe after the second one hit, and you had two left, would you not have thrown an axe maybe at Jackstraw?
It's definitely not 6 inches.
No, but still his movement.
No, he hasn't.
Boiler was there last time.
Was he?
Yeah, he hasn't moved Boiler.
No,
Boiler
he had to edge forwards into Tones to Thresher.
Ah, okay, fine.
At this point, I think you want to like pass the ball to Thresher. I don't think the ball's on Thresher. Might be. If you snap the ball, he can't move Thresher anymore. I can millstone him backwards, I guess.
So,
Under 90 minutes left, people.
dirty knives on him now.
Did we miss a Bryce activation? Did we miss a Bryce activation? Dirty Knives hits on Thresher.
I mean,
Anyway.
I'm not the one that's upset with the answer unless there's a boiler brisket linked.
No. It's alright.
I think we did.
Yeah. Oh no, Plowman. Plowman went. There we go.
Ah, there you go. And Millstone nudges.
Yeah. Out of range of the mark target ball. So ground pound behind board to get more into range is the play.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
It's alright, fine. The chat is watching. The chicken moved.
Thank you, Steve Cole. Why aren't you here, Steve?
An interesting one as well for the chat at the moment while everyone is making sure they're outside of 10 and outside of 11. What is everyone else doing today?
Not making sure they're outside of 14. Watching us, evidently, for some unknown reason.
But surely we're also taking up the time. It must be either hobby or it must be something.
Yeah. So Plowman moves, plants, as he used to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will allow that. Yeah, okay.
It's like Bryce has played these farmers before and knows his stuff.
Yeah. I think Bryce is one of the 2 people who has been to both WTCs that is undefeated. think it's him and Timmy are the only people that are undefeated at both WTCs.
Oh, really?
I believe so. They've both gone 5-0 both times. I think, if I remember my facts right.
Well, I remember last year was the first game of Vengeance last year was a Bryce and James Long face-off after the rematch of the year before.
So, looks like no influence being spent this turn apart from the threshold and skill check.
And Jackshaw could have come and hit Brisket, but now is just throwing down crop dusting.
But Jack wouldn't have been able to score any momentum on doing that.
Correct. But I think Bryce said he was on 3 or 4. Hits with his crop dusting.
Yeah.
So 3 momentum plays 1. Without knowledge of what cards there are, it's a bit tough.
No 7s have been spent yet.
So Steve, has the Scottish WTC team been confirmed? I know that there is England Part 2 to come.
England Team 3. Left 2 announced. Boar sprinting outside of Thresher's range. Outside also Boar's range. So it turns out, if you just don't let Boar charge, he's not a problem.
Yeah. There is no overpowered if you can't roll dice.
Killing people revolves rolling dice. So now Boar's gone. Tater's safe to walk in on Brisket and do 2 damage followed by 2 damage. All of this momentous. Two damage again. So that's 8 on Brisket so far, down to 4.
Last but not least, nothing.
Nothing on that one. So this is surely setting up for Tater to go top of the next turn, finish off Brisket.
And walking away and being outside of Boar's range again,
Although he'll only be tack 5 next time, so it'll be 5 needing 2 5s. Twice out of 4. It's not unreasonable.
I mean, you take the chance,
I think
and even if you don't, you can walk away because she's not engaging you anyway.
Yeah. So I think it's like,
And how your first team? Who is your first team, Steve? How are they performing, and who have they played?
I think one of them's got to be Fraser, right? Who we had on
stream. Fraser, it's got to be.
So we know that one. I'm assuming he's on Scotland one. So Bryce has got back in the game and Florian has wingbacks. Bryce is choosing to go first and pulling up 4 harvest markers. Tenderizer is in range to use wingbacks. So Tenderizer is threatening to charge things, which is nice.
And also Shank coming back on, threatening up the top.
Shank does need to be careful though.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful.
He is glass.
So at the moment, Thresher has the ball as well, right?
Yes.
So extending Thresher's range to pretty much wherever he wants.
Yeah.
In regards to being able to engage what he wants.
I feel like we're still going to see Tater try and kill Brisket and then walk back to cover Thresher with counter charge.
Yeah.
So I want to see some berserk ground pounding, I won't lie.
With the one that's on Brisket at the moment, do you feel that it should be 2? Because you'll push.
So miss first.
Miss the second.
The second.
misses the third.
It's now no longer on.
Wow.
Misses all 4.
Oh, Easton is in Team Scotland, Team 1. I know he's got a tough game now. He's against Timmy, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then Tater walks off to counter charge. So I think functionally that's 4 coin flips ish you got to hit.
Was
Bryce explaining the percentage chance.
yeah. I mean, discussing percentage, it's 50-50, isn't it? You either do it or you don't.
Yeah, 100%.
100% of the time, you do it or you don't. And in this case, you don't.
Really is a breather for Florian to be able to actually spend some momentum, influence.
And-
Now there's
and-
no counter attack.
And as well, now with having the, we've got to be careful with the counter charge though.
6 inches is not that.
Well, depends on where he goes base to base with Jack, is what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think Tater is 6 inches away from where that widget is now.
Oh no, hold on. I'm thinking that Tater is Millstone.
No, Tater's behind Millstone.
Tater's the one that's gone furthest back.
Yeah.
Fine. Ignore
Tater
me.
is covering, I think, Plowman and Thresher more than
Yeah.
Boiler charging in on Jackstraw.
And interestingly, now Bryce with no momentum.
Yes. Do you think we'll see him farming marked targets? Or actually trying to kill?
It might just be putting damage out just to get the momentum to try and threaten the being able to go
Yeah.
first next turn. Because that's when at the end of the turn you can then commit or to be standing in a position to really threaten the next turn.
Yep.
So yeah, Mom 2 with a bleed.
Yeah. Another one too. Another one too.
So we just had the exact same rolls as each other
No, Florian rolled less dice.
and got the results needed. Just proves.
Just gonna roll
50%
five.
of the time.
Why would you roll not 5?
Yeah, why would you not roll 5s?
See, the odds even out over to the 2 activations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Right? Exactly.
100%.
The WTC always makes an interesting conversation as well because you've seen it across all of the other ones. The 40k, the Warhammer Fantasy stuff, all with the ETC discussions on who comes from where.
Sure.
It's a tough one to try and sort out. But that sounds like a very solid Scottish team. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Jackstraw. Oh, so
No.
the chicken.
The chicken.
Chicken had influence. She walks over and momentous dodges Boiler.
So with the one on brisket that's there,
Yep.
I really like. I would have much preferred to see like a 2-stack on there to threaten a dirty knives.
Maybe. If you were sure she was going to die.
Oh, no,
And
as you
hence
say,
what that one
as you
is
say,
with-
it was coin flips there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And with the influence that was stacked all across the side,
Sure.
potentially Tenderide doesn't need 4.
I think Tenerife does, because he's one of the few people who's in range.
True.
This is brisket buying attack against
Getting
Jackstraw.
1 point of damage through. So now that Plowman's moving away though, does that nullify Shank completely?
Well,
Well, no,
Florian's got
with
wingbacks
where'd you go actually?
and wingbacks, which is Shadowlike.
So he's got movement for days.
Yeah, so I think Tenderize is in on Thresher, I think.
Bryce now just trying to recover from his lack of fives.
I think we're going to see if Tenderize is in now. I think he's out by that bollock. Here we go.
So is this looking at a tendy charge?
Yeah, Shadow-like into charging Thresher. I think.
Hey? Semi.
Double checking the angles on counter charge.
I was just thinking the shadow would have to be directly forward and therefore might clip the terrain.
He's got momentum though.
I mean, MGFG Killer, I feel I am unable to read your contribution and I apologise.
I can't see the clock from here, if I'm honest.
Sadly.
I can send John on a reconnoiter mission at some point.
I'll go on a recce.
Do it. We're going to go find out what the clock's like. Millstone makes a jog, pushes Ploughman. Yep.
So we currently have Florian sitting on 29 minutes remaining with Bryce on 33. With this looks like a farmer's retreat and attempt to box out Boiler.
Yes. I'm telling you, it's the ground pound behind board to get into range or something.
Every now and then I'll pop over and I'll have a look at the clock. I might try and get them to position it somewhere that we might be able to see it, but I think it might be tough.
The time feeling was 33 for Bryce and 29 for Florian.
Sadly, MGFG, my Arabic isn't quite up to standard, I'll be honest.
Shank not in range to be able to take Berserk from 4.
Correct.
So I don't think the kill on Thresher's on.
No. Tenderizer can?
Tenderizer can, but would have to eat counter charge. But now the chicken's moved. Double check angles.
Yeah, Shank could definitely be the person that goes in where they goes into, so therefore doesn't trigger the counter charge. Try and tackle the ball out and pass it out. The counter attack from Thresher though is definitely...
Oh, that's the ball, not the chicken.
Yeah. So Shank is activating wing back and forwards. Just making sure he's outside of the 6 for purposes of the move. That's the dodge. That would be the way they go. So he's making sure he's right on the cusp of the 2.
I feel like Thrasher's counter attack's pretty good at this though. Thrasher's counter attack's pretty good at this though.
Yeah. Especially because it's free.
Declare boys.
At least with the tackle now, the dodge is bad because he wants the ball.
KD dodge.
But even on the KD dodge, you have to resolve the scat before the dodge was to happen. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but Shank's got no movement left.
Okay, tackle back.
Takes the tackle back. If you take the KD, then you have to go and recover the ball, I guess, which might put you into the others.
2 points of damage in a dodge. He's going to hit him again.
1 turn dodge. Finally takes the ball back.
And healing himself with 4. Bryce is making sure that the threats are on. And
Well, I think you were saying that Tenderizer has a 9-inch sight, but actually Tenderizer's got more than that, right? Shadowlike plus 6-inch sprint plus 2-inch melee?
yeah, he's probably forgotten the shadow like that.
Crop dusting lands 2 damage on Boiler. Two damage, 2 damage. Boiler is down to 8 damage. Boiler's on no momentum. And Bryce heals. Jack Straw back to 7.
Hey?
Bryce heals Jack Straw back to 7.
Yeah.
Who is it?
So again, checking to see if ball's in range.
That's an easy resolution.
So Tenderizer no longer in range. However, the ground pound is still on.
Bryce is 100% in power stance, Barry. You've got that spot on. The leg is up and the game is real. The focus as well is on these players. You realise though, he can't ground pound and push forward. Ground pound's knockdown as well, isn't it?
Oh, because he's got no momentum.
He's got no momentum.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I forgot he had no momentum.
He can, however.
He could have.
He could have, yeah.
Tell your friends if you'd like a masterclass in dealing with that ball, because apparently he's bent. Here we go. Thresh is just gonna remove Shank again, right? Pulls up the Harvest Monster's 3 damage to Tater and Shank. Attack, no momentum counter.
Yeah. 3 and a knockdown, spicy.
Yep. The combined damage knockdown result, it's juicy. And the ball scatters pretty perfectly.
Yeah, I was about to say that this ball scatter could be
It
what
could have
Boar
got bored.
needs.
Yeah, could have got bored.
But, alas. So Shank now down to 2.
Just over 1 hour remaining.
Yep, that's Shank taken out again from Momentus 3 and dodge. I agree completely, Steve. Cinnamon would make a massive difference.
And Dan, if you were to have cinnamon in, what would you be doing different?
I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. But the cinnamon aura just gives you +2 move. So you now threat the same as Thresher.
Yeah.
Where the results go.
To one of those 3.
Sprints Thresher.
Now I feel that the farmers up here to also take the centre field.
Yeah.
Where with your next activation with ball, do you now
Just try and threat as many models as possible.
so by sprinting him
I think probably.
the question is though, do you go upfield threatening Tater and Millstone, or do you go down there threatening where your guys
So
are?
the problem you have is that fairly reliably, Brisket and Boiler should die first activation next turn.
Should.
So if you move Boar to threaten downfield, there's a chance you lose all your support and Boar's going in alone. If you threaten upfield, Boar's then out on his own, and then Bryce can just come fully this way. Because that board does need his team.
Yeah.
He can kill a model by himself every turn, but scoring 2 points a turn does not win you the game.
Correct.
Not with how quick Season 4 is.
Sent it to the ground, and then I think
It's a +1 influence card, I'm not sure what it is.
I think
though.
Florian threw something in with a low ball one, just with a +1.
You send it to the ground the +6 or the +5?
What?
You send it to the ground the +6 or +5? I think it's the free run the length, right? Because showboating's the.
Other one.
Yeah. I think.
Table 2.
Or this. This Thresher legendary could turn off Ball for the turn as well. I think last time we saw Boiler was on 8 and Brisket was on 2, unless Brisket healed, which he might have done.
I don't think he had the momentum to do it.
Windfinder wins 12-2. And Windfinder kicked. Thank you very much. I can't remember who it was for.
So that's a poised +1, I believe, from Florian.
Which is given to Tenderizer.
No, he wasn't. But because I'm playing. Alright, there was someone else who was supposed to play that. No, because I was coming. I don't go to. It's like I've had quite a few people who messaged me about it. Drops.
Checking the threat range of Tater. And Shank
Yeah, one thing Shank does want to do is come back on the pit and then just be immediately killed by Tater.
again. Checking to see if the aura from ball was going to be able to use.
It's clear as you have to start, not start your rods.
Yeah. Well, as far as London goes, the Surrey Spartans haven't had exactly the best showing this morning.
No.
So Tater Legendary, sorry, Thresher Legendary used.
5-second boiler.
Take 9 onto Boiler.
Takes the KD dodge.
Yep.
I'm only going to be costing maybe 30 pounds. 52?
Jog taking the bottom from Brisket. Almost. Two damage on the bottom row.
Just discussion about parting blows and what you can and can't do on them, which leads to 2 damage on the parting blow.
By attack on boiler. Takes him on 3. Thresher pulls the harvest marker to sweep.
So it's
Boiler dies.
Boiler dies.
Yeah, Brisket must have healed. 5-second bet ball. Takes a long KD.
On 3.
Takes 1-3.
Last that going into Boar again.
1-4 at the top of the book.
Stacking up that momentum. Spin 1 to heal. The legendary was larger.
Yeah.
Any more?
Florian's. Thresher looking pretty safe at the moment.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to disengage if Ball wants to walk in on him, but hopefully shouldn't die to a non-charging bet ball.
At this point, where Brisket is, does Thresher get worse with the dirty knives? Does the dirty knives play enough to warrant maybe?
He gets to throw 2 1-dice 30 knives. Three-inch melee. Really coming into play.
at this point when Brisket's sitting, Brisket can't even walk around and engage Thresher because she takes the parting blow from Plowman and from Jackstraw, just trying to get there.
I think you can do it while keeping in on Plowman.
Yeah, but you can't. I wouldn't want to take the parting blow from Jackstraw in case it goes badly.
5 dice, you can take it in cover. So 4 dice, he needs to hit all of them to knock you over.
Okay.
I think at this point you need to do something.
Yeah.
And I think Brisket might be within 6, so he can take the Berserk.
Seeing with Shank where, I mean, he could, as Display, go and grab the ball. Oh, here's an idea then.
Yeah.
Is there any merit?
No.
Is that sprint to get the ball, do you think?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that is his damage target charge.
Okay. Because maybe a thought to get ball out of here is you run up, grab the ball, you end up trying to just get momentum off the Tater. To stand up ball, to pass the ball to ball, to dodge ball out, to be able to charge with ball.
Yeah, your 2 dice needing a 5.
As you say, you've got to do something.
Yeah. In fact, it's probably 1 dice needing a 5 because you probably still engaging Tater.
Yeah.
Well, they get to bonus time. Charging Tater, Tater bonus time stances up to a 5. Oh, that's a pretty good one. 1k cuts if he wants it, but I don't think he wants it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he wants.
Unless you're now looking at Tater being your kill target.
I think you've got to get the ball and threaten it, I'll be honest.
Takes him on 3 and a dodge. Grabs the ball. Takes another Mom 3 and a dodge.
Yeah, no, it could be.
Yep. No, he's going the other way.
With Tater with influence, I think you have to get the ball out of there, though. You alright? Would be Jay or Sam that are over there.
Not only are we commentating, we're also general information desk.
Yeah.
Shank heals going back up to 11, I think.
Yeah. I'm still not sure. I feel that ball has to be.
I think you need the ball charge. Well, maybe. Maybe you're alright. Because maybe Ball just stands up, walks over to Tater, and then just buys attacks and tries to kill him.
Do you maybe double dodge back up to the cover?
So he takes part of his Wendigo, drops the ball, and then completes his web. There you go, back in. Millstone jogs.
Now with the momentum that's there, do you start to? Could you bring back the momentum from?
Tater gets healed.
11.
Up to 11.
Is that boreable? Taking into account, it is, but the counter attack is dodgy.
So I think 11 is boreable if you can survive the Tater counter attack.
Yes, yeah.
So I think you take the -1 dice, you're on 7 dice, and you're looking at hitting like 1 stagger him down to 3s, and then 4 single him out, and then you've got 2 more attacks.
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
I think it's the dodging the counter attack, because the counter attack
Yeah.
is, where's his...
Single push on 3 or 2?
Yeah, it's push and knockdown on the same result, isn't it?
No, it's 3, I think. Because that's definitely where Mowdown is.
Yeah. So, attack 5 into 3-1.
+1 from being engaged by Thresher.
Oh yeah, then 6, needing 3 successes.
Do some 1 bonus timing. You would.
You would.
You can't KD him because he's too near to Millstone. So, Bryce realising he should take a passing blow from Shank and offering it. This is Shank's passing blow against Millstone. Does 3. Yeah.
And it was obviously
What timing update, John? Timing update.
I will do my job.
Essentially, if we get the clock onto the screen, you can't see anything because of the glare. As you can see, the cars at the top of the screen, you can't tell what they are. So we're going to have to just send John off to go check it every so often. Apologies.
Yes, table 18. Red catchers was Piper. Yep. And I was Fairness.
Yep.
12-7 for red catchers.
So Bryce currently dominating the clock. Bryce is sitting on 23 minutes to go with Florian on 14. But I'll be honest, with timings on this, it feels like this is the make or break sitch. So
All the points are going to snowball out this turn, I think.
yeah. With Tater still to go, that's what, 4 influence, therefore 4 momentum, let's say.
There's 4 influence on Brisket, which can turn into 6 momentum with Berserk.
Yeah.
And 2 influence on the dog.
But Jack's still really shutting down both of them.
Any sort
Yeah.
of Furies.
Florian really in the tank right now.
Yep.
At this point, do you buy yourself an activation with Tenderizer by moving him forwards? Because you know that the ball isn't going to be effective and come up.
I think you want to try and invalidate as much influence of Bryce as you want, which means I think you're looking for the kill on Tater if you can,
Oh, yeah.
which I think is what's trying to be worked out at the moment.
Matt's 20 minutes now on his opponent. His opponent's got 22 minutes match left, and Matt's on 5. He's 8-4 up.
Let's start playing.
So Princess is going to be the activation.
This is going to be a fast thing.
hits with the dog on Jackstraw.
Is that Mom 2? Yeah, Mom 2.
Yes, team 10. It's hammer against.
I like that.
Yeah. That's Mom 2, Mom 1, and then stand up ball.
Because looking at ball now, so I know it sounds silly, but you go to where Tater is, you're at 2. You push Tater to be at 1. Tater can't get out of you.
But then you've only got 2 attacks to try and kill Tater.
What about at the moment when you're trying to generate the momentum? Although that invalidates you generating momentum, I guess.
I think this could be where Dirty Knives plays. I don't know what the maths is like because I've not done it. Could be where Dirty Knives plays. I don't know what the maths is like, but
Go on.
sorry, ball's not outside of 3. But if Thresher's Dirty Knives, I don't know if the kill is then on with ball.
Oh, on Thresher, if the
Yeah.
Dirty Knives is real, yeah.
So he takes 1 from Dirty Knives.
So the knockdown now has to be...
You can still clear it with momentum.
Yeah, but then he can't get knocked down in his turn again.
Yes.
Triple 40.
This is the... He's taking Mom KD followed by Mom Push. Looking to be outside of Plowman, inside of Thresher.
Sharp got 12 and kicked. We've got 4. Yeah, missed 5. Over 31. That's good.
Interesting. I really like where Thresher is placed as well.
The players have noticed there was some jogging of models,
Yeah.
and they just rectified it as best as they could. Because they knew that Thresher was pretty much where he was, and Ball was in on 3 of Thresher, and Florian said that Ball was on 6 of Brisket, so...
And 2 momentum used to heal Jackstraw.
Back to 5.
So what's the momentum like now? 1 versus 1, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
I think there's 2 actually under Florian's then. And there's the second one peeking out.
it's underneath his hand.
It was over so quickly.
It could be really interesting to just see, as long as the momentum gets converted properly.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the Dirty Knives throwing here, or do you think it needs to be so you generate momentum?
I don't know.
Basically done at this point, that's it.
Has Brisket got Mom on 1?
Huh?
Has Brisket got Mom on 1?
I believe so. No,
No, on 2.
it's not 1, 2.
Roll 5 dice eating 2 5s against Jackstraw, and just try and do that 6 times.
Six times. Oh,
5 dice. 5 dice 6 times, so you take Berserk,
Yeah, but obviously if you miss, you fluff it.
and you can hit the 1.
Yeah, but as I'm saying, if you do have a bad roll, then you don't
Yeah.
get the 6. But yeah. That could convert really nicely though.
And if you ever do spike to the 3, you still get to Dirty Knives.
Yeah, if you get to throw Dirty Knives backwards into Thresher, setting up for the next one. Vet Ball going first. You're right, it was one underneath his hand as well.
Yeah. I'm always right. You should know that better.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but Bryce is 11 minutes up on clock.
Yeah, we've said it. I keep popping around to do it. Because there's not a place on the thing where we can show it, is there? Because of the reflection.
I was going to try and get a camera over the clock, the lights, the table, where we're getting a digital clock made for next year, so basically they'll see it, but when they push the button, it feeds the stream, so the stream will actually give a...
Oh, that's cool. So, ball walking to engage jackstraw.
Yeah.
I like this.
You're just trying to go first.
1 more minute's worth of damage.
1-1, Berserk. It's non-1-1 on the stagger. Looking to kill him on this activation then.
Yeah.
Stagger plays.
Stagger played massively.
So singled out and non-1-4.
I like this a lot.
Does it? Yep.
Momentous damage result taken, killing off jackstraw.
Yep.
So I can do it if not. What table?
Table 19, I think. Farmers versus Alchemist.
Bruton score up to 6-all.
Versus Ben.
Yeah, that's it.
Benoff, captains.
He had Midas.
Yep.
I had pressure.
Yep.
I kicked. Pressure kick. It was.
So now I think, because Thresher's got to go, not Thresher, Taser's got to go next, right?
Yes.
There's some throwaway activations I've missed. Yeah, I think the chicken.
Bird. Yeah. But as you say though, it could be the throwaway activation of the chicken, the throwaway activation of the tenderizer, followed by then brisket.
I think you were just looking to go first. And if brisket goes before after Tater, you can sink a load of damage into Thresher and set him up for next turn.
Because the 3-inch melee is now going to drop.
Yeah.
So therefore, Ball will have his charge.
Yes.
And will be able to take Thresher to Funky Town.
Maybe next round we can get the clock swap sides, so we can see
I
it from
thought
here.
about that, but I think they said it was to do with the glare of the screen as opposed to the angle, just because they've got lights on both sides. So
Maybe.
I won. 12. Table should be 11, I think. Okay. Sorry, just in case people grab me for scores as well. And just announce.
He activates.
Hello, sir.
Charge shank?
Pardon?
Charge shank?
From his ball. So that's
Or what?
that's not very nice.
I think that's very nice. I played Ballista, he played obviously Shot. Spade was running around with the ball while I shot on.
goes in an inch.
12, 4. He scored 1 goal in turn 1 afterwards. Spade had the ball and was like, fuck you, I'm out of it. He kicked, funnily enough. and I'm too stupid to keep.
Takes 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2.
Apparently. But it doesn't matter because it works.
He declared his counter.
Yeah, it was just
Bonus
like,
time, really going for it.
Okay, I can't reach it. I run towards it. Okay, I run with Spade here and put the ball behind him. Okay, I can't reach the ball. So Mainspring runs around Spade, takes the ball and takes it off the field towards Locust. Bad scatter. Okay, Sakana takes the ball, wanted to pass towards Shark. Locust runs there.
It's 3 and a dodge on the hunter.
Again, back into my team. It was pretty funny. It was like.
But now the generation of momentum is just up there for to be had. Setting up for a kill as well for next turn.
Another 3 damage on that one.
Yep.
3 damage again.
Yep. Last
3
one.
health left.
And on 3.
Bryce bonus times it.
Time on the last one.
With 4 fours? Yeah. Nails it. Kills him.
I received when he played
And then he'll stay to back up to 11, I think.
So with Brisket, is the walk to base the bait Thresher?
Yeah, I think so.
30 minutes remaining.
And then makes you engage Plowman as well though? So you'll be dropping 2 dice?
Not sure.
Because of...
13-6.
I don't think you want to engage Plowman here.
No.
So Bryce is on 4
Do you
momentum.
risk... do you risk... I don't think the dodge, even if he was to be an inch away, will get him outside of an inch. You can't dodge all the way over that cover.
No.
So being the inch out, being in cover, you're the likelihood of spiking up to the knockdown dodge. Pick the chicken instead.
In the chicken instead.
Each time you damage the chicken though, it's gonna dodge
It's got a
away.
pain response, yeah.
46, I think.
Not buying the berserk.
Might have, he's only got 2 influence there.
Yeah. Estes. Estes kicked. My Estes. I'm Valerian.
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah, I know, that's why I suddenly realised that. That's 14-4 to me. Yeah. Estes won. Yeah. There we go. He tried to play goal scoring
Shame.
first. I just got the match in the corner.
Yeah, I definitely think that tucking up on Thresher would have been the one. So now it's 2 momentum plays 3 there.
I think Bryce has got 4 or 5. He's not tempted just to base to baseball with the chicken now.
Yeah.
Who gets the stop price? No, not for price. Who gets the what do you play? The results. Yeah, the results.
Chicken base to base his ball. Didn't want to charge anyway.
Daniel Hamwood was Dominic Carlin. Veteran ball versus Esses. And Esses are kicking. Esses have 15 points and Veteran 10 points. Oh wow.
People asking about the likelihood of scoring with Thresher now. I think the ball being in the top left, I think is irrelevant. It's got to be whoever wins this fight in the middle between Boar and Thresher. Thresher notably has no legendary now, though.
So what?
I said Thresher notably having no legendary now.
Yeah. Has to buy his 3-inch melee.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bryce wins, you could just go and engage Boy Plowman. You're fighting out with from 2 base-to-base models when you're not engaging Thresher. You're never going to get to
The
that
threat
model.
with the tenderizer though on the bottom is very nice. It's got the 7 and the dodge, so he's going to dodge.
The 7 double dodge, not double dodge. Blocking ball from dodging towards Florian's deployment line. I'm not sure what Florian played. Use the 4 to dodge brisket out. I mean, that's not in range. That's not in range for a goal run, right?
I'm not sure.
10 inches? I don't think so, but maybe, just.
Maybe. Well, but Jackson was going to come back on and snap the ball up anyway. And
Can't snap
No,
the
he
ball. Only
can't.
2 inches.
That's what I was looking for on that.
Go and check that.
right, I'm going to check the clock.
Yep. I'm sending John on a clock mission. What's this? It's an A plus. So I'm just getting clock in now. It is 4 minutes on Florian's clock, plays 16 on Bryce's clock. Florian really start wrapping up the sub now. Counter. Thresher into vet ball, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, Thresher into vet ball. Four on Florian. Takes Mom 2.
Table 55.
Mom 3 and a dodge. 9 health left from 4.
Alchemist were on Midas. On Steel Drop. Kicker was Alchemist.
Mom 4 down to 5 on Thresher.
12-7 to Alchemist. Table 22.
Last attack. Takes 1 4 1 2.
And that's him gone.
Takes a jog to engage. Risk. Pulls up the Harvest Master to do 3-2 brisket.
Order. The order 6
So did Thresher full to nothing ball?
I think there was some chip damage on ball from somewhere, maybe like a Jackstraw AoE, but yeah, pretty much full to 0.
And he missed a keep in on the last turn. It's like on miss. It's like. It's always good when Aaron misses the keep. I'll get this one in for you. Thank you very much.
45. Jackstraw. I won. 12 pence. As against minus.
Tenderizer charges Plowman. Death Stance.
That was big.
Takes a double push.
He's got no momentum though.
Yep, takes the KD with Florian out of momentum.
I mean, at this point, it's the walk away, deny shank, deny boiler.
At this point, it's just setting up tenderizer for Tater.
Well, there's that, and also by moving that way, it's just nullifies shank, nullifies everything else.
Oh,
Right hand side,
yeah.
just not needed, is it?
Takes momentum to push in for tenderizer.
Pushing him out of cover.
Bring him to Tater.
It was against
So,
14-9 to me. He kicked.
Shoot a space with Thrasher outside of Flowman. Crushes the first
there
poised.
poised, yeah.
Takes Mom 2. There's the all important momentum for the KD.
And then he just started grinding out and he kept kicking the ball deep downfield behind my lines. Like people trying to bring people back together and it just wasn't working. That's the best way to play this one.
Takes 2 damage on the counter. Takes another Mom 2.
So again,
Non-Mom 1.
nothing.
Ugh. And heals Brisket for 4.
Well, it's not, but Bryce has got 13 minutes left, but Florian's got 1. So, unless he can find 6-point activation,
Chicken jumps round.
so Florian's got a minute.
Table 47. Yeah. Chris V. Craig.
Misses the mark target on Plowman.
Meaning that Shank will struggle to get. Well, I don't think he will struggle to get. It just means that
He's got to swim where they go, I think.
it means just that the charge is probably not on without where they go.
Could Shank die for the 4th time this game? Could Shank die for the 4th time this game?
I think he could, but then so charge over there.
Took riskier plays than I should have, and then
Declares the counter.
Yeah. Plus or minus 1 for Brisket.
and I made a mistake at the end of the game. Like, he scored, the ball came back out and scatter Bennett. And I could kill Bennett with one decimal above. And hope the scatter works to score myself. Go to 10 and then win initiative and end the game. But I chose to instead.
You can hear the beats.
I think I can hear. I believe Florian just clocked out.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone else comes to me with results, so we have double answering.
Mom 2 on a dodge. So it's Mom 3 on a dodge on Thresher, and then Mom 2 on a dodge on Plowman.
Yep.
Bryce gets the clock out point.
And he wins on the activation of the dog.
Yep.
And I think
And that's the game.
And that's the game.
Oh, 12-6.
12-6, Bryce takes it over
Yeah.
Florian.
really good game for people who want to learn play around a bit more.
Yeah. And I think that was literally showing.
Bryce.
Right. There is 17 minutes left on the clock for this round.
So I think we'll see you in about 20, 25 minutes?
Yeah, about 20-25 minutes. I'll post up on Gubs again.
Yeah.
And if you guys in the chat want to put up who you want to see in the next round, I will have the chat with Jay when the round is being drafted.
And we'll see what we can find.
So I want to know what teams you want, what captains you want to see, and also if there's any names. That's perfect. Catch you guys in a bit.